Welcome to the Midnight Chronicler. Before we journey, I'd really appreciate it if you took a moment to subscribe. I bring you new episodes daily, traveling to different times and places to help you sleep better. Also, please let me know in the comments, if you could choose one ancient wonder to witness being built, which would it be? Tonight, we journey to ancient Egypt, to the year 2540 BCE. You are not a pharaoh. You are not a priest. You are Nakht, a 23-year-old man who has just been selected to work on the Great Pyramid of Khufu at Giza. For the next 90 minutes, you will experience what it was really like to build one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. You will learn the secrets that only the workers knew, the techniques they used, the food they ate, the songs they sang, the pain they endured, and the pride they felt. Close your eyes. Let us begin. You wake before dawn. The air is cool against your skin, but you know it will not stay that way. By midday, the sun will be merciless. You sit up on your reed mat. Your body is still fresh. You are young, strong. You do not yet know that in 6 years your back will ache every morning. In 12 years, your hands will be permanently scarred. In 27 years, you will retire, bent and weathered, but proud. Today is your first day. Your name is Nakht. It means strong. Your father was a farmer. Your grandfather was a farmer. But you will be something different. You will be a pyramid builder. You reach for the water jug near your mat. The water is warm. It has been sitting here since last night. You drink deeply. Your wife, Merit, is already awake. She has been awake for an hour, preparing the morning meal. You married her 2 months ago. She is 15 years old. This is normal. She grinds barley into flour, her movements practiced and efficient. She hands you breakfast, barley bread, still warm, onions, pungent and sharp, and beer. Yes, beer for breakfast. This is not a luxury or a vice. This is your ration, provided by the Pharaohs' administration. The beer is thick, nutritious, low in alcohol. It is safer than water. It contains calories you will desperately need. You drink it slowly. You are not a slave. This is important. This is crucial. You are a paid worker. You receive 10 loaves of bread per day, 2 jugs of beer, and occasional rations of meat during festivals. You live in housing provided by the state. When you are injured, you will be treated by physicians. When you die, you will be buried with honor. You are building the pyramid because you believe it is holy work. Because you believe the pharaoh is a living god. Because you believe this pyramid will ensure Ma'at, cosmic order, the balance that keeps chaos at bay. Because you believe that by building the pharaoh's gateway to the afterlife, you are securing your own place in eternity. You also do it because everyone does it. Because there is no work during the flood season when the Nile covers the farmland. Because the pay is better than farming. Because it is an honor. Because you have no choice. All of these things are true at once. You step outside. The village is stirring. This is a company town, built specifically for pyramid workers. There are bakeries, breweries, coppersmithies, fish drying stations. There are approximately 4,000 people living here. Some are haulers like you. Some are masons, sculptors, engineers, overseers, priests, bakers, brewers, doctors, dentists, and scribes. This is a city dedicated to a single purpose: the pyramid. The houses are arranged in neat rows, 12 meters by 12 meters, made of mud brick. Your house has 4 rooms, a main living area, a sleeping chamber, a kitchen, and a small courtyard. There is no furniture as you would recognize it. You sit on mats. You sleep on mats. You store things in clay pots and wooden boxes. You walk toward the pyramid. The sun is just beginning to rise. In the distance, you can see it. The pyramid. It is already 50 meters tall, roughly 1/3 of its final height. Its white limestone casing stones catch the first light of dawn and gleam like polished silver. The effect is breathtaking, divine. You are not alone. Hundreds of men walk beside you, flowing like a river toward the construction site. Some are singing, some are silent, some are eating their breakfast bread as they walk. You recognize no one yet. You will. By the end of the first month, you will know 50 men by name. By the end of the first year, you will know 300. You will work alongside them, eat with them, suffer with them. Some will become your closest friends. Some will die in accidents. This is the reality of the pyramid. You arrive at the pyramid site. It is larger than you imagined. The pyramid itself is impressive, yes, but the infrastructure around it is astounding. There are massive ramps spiraling up the sides, made of mud, brick, and rubble. There are supply roads stretching toward the Nile, 2 kilometers away. There are workshops, storage buildings, and administrative offices. There are hundreds of men already working, even though the sun has barely risen. A foreman approaches you. His name is Seneb. He is 40 years old, muscular, with a scar running down his left arm from a rope accident 3 years ago. He looks at you with an expression you cannot quite read. It might be pity. It might be approval. Perhaps both. You are Nakht? He asks. Yes. You will be a hauler. Do you know what that means? You nod, though you do not fully understand yet. It means, Seneb continues, that you will move stone. Every day. For years. It is hard work. It is honest work. It is holy work. Do you understand? Yes. Good. Come. He leads you toward the quarry. The quarry is located 500 meters south of the pyramid. It is not deep. The limestone here is close to the surface. This is deliberate. The ancient Egyptians chose this site specifically because good limestone was readily available. This is a secret of efficiency that tourists will never appreciate. Location, location, location. You see men working in teams of 10. They are cutting blocks from the living rock. The sound is rhythmic. Metal on stone, metal on stone, metal on stone. It is almost musical. Seneb assigns you to a team. The foreman of this team is an older man named Keti. He has been doing this for 15 years. His hands are massive, calloused, scarred. He looks at you and sighs. He has seen many first-day workers. Many do not last a week. Watch, he says. He takes a copper chisel and demonstrates. The limestone here is relatively soft. The Macadam Formation, deposited 50 million years ago when this entire area was underwater. You do not know this geological detail, but you will notice that the stone is easier to work than you expected. This is intentional. The Egyptians are not stupid. They build with the materials available, and they choose those materials carefully. Keti shows you how to identify the natural bedding planes in the limestone. These are horizontal layers where the stone naturally wants to separate. You will cut along these planes. You will not fight the stone. You will work with it. He marks a line with red ochre. The block will be approximately 1.3 meters long, 1.3 meters wide, and 0.7 meters tall. This is the standard size. It will weigh approximately 2.5 tons. You will move hundreds of these. Thousands, if you stay long enough. Cut here, Keti says, indicating the line. You take the copper chisel. It feels inadequate. Copper is soft. Limestone is hard. How can soft copper cut hard stone? Keti sees your confusion. The secret, he says, is not force. It is patience. And sand. He demonstrates. He strikes the chisel gently, repeatedly, into the stone. He pours sand mixed with water along the cut line. The sand acts as an abrasive. The copper becomes a saw, and the sand does the cutting. This is a secret the workers know. It is not the tool that matters most. It is the technique. You try. Your first strikes are clumsy. The chisel slips. You hit your thumb. Blood wells up, but you do not stop. Ketty watches impassively. This is normal. Everyone bleeds on their first day. After an hour, your hands are blistered. After 2 hours, the blisters have burst. Another worker, seeing your raw palms, shows you a secret. Wrap your hands with strips of linen soaked in animal fat. This cushions the impact and prevents infection. You do this. It helps. By midday, you have made a cut 20 centimeters deep along one side of the block. 3 more sides to go. Then the bottom. This single block will take 3 days to extract. Then you will move it. Then you will return and cut another. This is your life now. The sun is directly overhead. It is brutally hot. You are given a break. Water is distributed. You drink gratefully. You sit in the shade of a temporary shelter made of woven reed mats. You eat more bread. An onion. You rest. Ketty sits beside you. You did well, he says. This surprises you. You feel like you accomplished nothing. The first day is always hardest, he continues. Your body does not know this work yet. In 1 month, your hands will be hard. In 6 months, you will cut twice as fast. In a year, you will train someone new, just as I am training you. You look at the pyramid in the distance. 50 meters tall, 1/3 complete. You think, I am part of this. This thought fills you with something you cannot quite name. Pride, purpose, fear, all 3. The break ends. You return to cutting. By evening, your cut is 30 centimeters deep. Progress. Real, measurable progress. Seneb inspects your work. He nods. Approval. You have survived your first day. You walk home. Your hands throb. Your shoulders ache. Your forearms burn. But you are satisfied. You eat dinner. Fish, bread, onions, beer. Merit massages your shoulders with palm oil. You sleep deeply, dreamlessly. Tomorrow, you will return to the quarry. 4 days later, the block is ready. It sits free from the bedrock, resting on wooden rollers. It weighs 2.5 tons. You and 40 other men will move it 500 meters to the base of the pyramid, then up the ramp to the current working height of 50 meters. This will take most of the day. Seneb organizes the team. You are positioned on the left side, 3rd row back. Ropes made of papyrus and flax are looped around the block and over a wooden sledge. The sledge has been greased with animal fat. Every detail has been considered. But there is a secret. A secret that will not be rediscovered until the 21-carat text street century CE, when physicists will study ancient Egyptian methods and realize what the workers knew instinctively: friction. A young boy, perhaps 12 years old, walks ahead of the sledge carrying a large water jug. As you prepare to pull, he pours water onto the sand in front of the sledge. The sand darkens. It becomes firm, compact. This is the secret. Wet sand reduces friction by half. Dry sand is loose, shifting. The sledge sinks and catches. Wet sand is firm, stable. The sledge glides. This technique is shown in tomb paintings. For thousands of years, scholars will assume the water is ceremonial. It is not. It is engineering. Pull! Seneb shouts. You pull. Your shoulders burn immediately. The rope digs into your flesh despite the linen wrapping. The block does not move. You pull harder. 40 men straining in unison. The block shifts. 1 centimeter. 2. 5. 10. Pull. Seneb shouts again. You establish a rhythm. Pull. Rest. Pull. Rest. The boy continues pouring water. The sledge begins to slide. Slowly. So slowly. But it moves. Someone starts singing. It is a work song, simple and repetitive. Heave, heave, the stone moves. Heave, heave, for the God King. Heave, heave, we build forever. Heave, heave, heave. The song helps. It synchronizes the pulling. It gives rhythm to the suffering. You sing along. Everyone sings. Even Seneb sings. You move the block 100 meters in 2 hours. You rest. Water is distributed. You drink. You breathe. Your heart pounds in your chest like a drum. You look back at the quarry. 100 meters. You look forward at the pyramid. 400 meters to go. Then the ramp. Then the placement. This stone represents 1 day of work for 40 men. The pyramid requires 2,300,000 stones. You do the math. 57,500 days of hauling. Divided by crews working simultaneously. 20 years. The stories say it will take 20 years to complete. The math confirms the stories. This is another secret the workers know. The timeline is not arbitrary. It is calculated, planned, engineered. You resume pulling. By afternoon, you have reached the base of the pyramid. The ramp looms before you. It is not steep, perhaps a 10-degree incline. But it is long, very long. It spirals around the pyramid, rising gradually. The ramp itself is a marvel. Millions of mud bricks, tons of rubble, wooden supports. When the pyramid is complete, the ramp will be dismantled. It is temporary infrastructure, but it is no less impressive than the pyramid itself. You begin the ascent. The incline makes everything harder. The rope bites deeper. Your legs burn. Your lungs strain. But the wet sand trick still works. The boy continues pouring water. The sledge continues sliding. You pass other teams descending with empty sledges. They look exhausted. You will look the same in 2 hours. This is the pattern. Teams ascending with stone, teams descending for more. A constant flow. An ant colony of human effort. Halfway up, someone stumbles. A man in the front row. His foot catches on a loose stone. He falls. The rope goes slack for a moment. The block shifts backward. There is a scream. The man's leg is caught beneath the sledge. Stop! Stop! Seneb shouts. Everyone drops the ropes. The block settles. The man is screaming. His leg is bent at an unnatural angle. Broken. Possibly crushed. Seneb sends a runner for the physician. Within 10 minutes, the physician arrives. His name is Samtik. He is 45 years old, trained in the House of Life at Memphis. He carries a wooden medical kit containing bronze scalpels, needles, sutures, and various compounds. He examines the man's leg. Broken, he announces. Not crushed. He will heal. Samtik splints the leg with wooden boards and linen bandages. He gives the man a drink. Beer mixed with opium derived from poppy. The man's screaming subsides to whimpering. He is carried away on a litter. You will see him again in 4 months. He will walk with a limp, but he will walk. He will return to work, though he will be reassigned to lighter duties. Grinding grain, weaving rope, he will still be paid. He will still be fed. This is another secret. Workers are valuable. Injuries are treated. Recovery is supported. This is not cruelty. This is pragmatism. Trained workers cannot be easily replaced. The haul resumes. You reach the 50th meter level as the sun begins to set. The block is delivered to the master mason. He is called Hemiunu. He is the architect of the pyramid, the Pharaoh's vizier, a man of extraordinary intelligence and skill. He will be buried in his own mastaba tomb near the pyramid. His statue will show him as prosperous, well-fed, powerful. He earned this. Hemiunu examines your block. He uses a wooden square to check the angles. He uses a plumb line to check the vertical. He nods. The block is acceptable. It is placed in position. Workers use wooden levers and copper tools to fine-tune the placement. Mortar is applied. a mixture of gypsum, sand, and water. The joint is tight, precise. You have delivered one block. You have contributed 0.0004% of the pyramid's total mass. You are both insignificant and essential, both meaningless and vital. You descend the ramp. Your shift is over. Your body is destroyed. Your hands are bleeding through the linen wrapping. Your shoulders feel dislocated, but you are satisfied. You did the work. You moved stone. You built eternity. You walk home in the twilight. Merit has dinner waiting. Fish stew, bread, beer. You eat in silence. She does not ask about your day. She knows. Every day is the same. Every day is hard. Every day is necessary. You sleep. 3 months pass. You are no longer the newest worker. New men arrive every week. You show them the tricks. Wet sand, linen wrapping, the work songs. You are becoming experienced. Your body has adapted. Your hands are calloused, hard as leather. Your shoulders are broader. Your back is stronger. You can cut stone faster. You can pull longer. The pyramid grows. It is now 60 meters tall. You can see progress. This is psychologically important. You are not laboring in futility. You are building something real, something visible, something permanent. The seasons change. The Nile floods. This is expected, celebrated. When the river floods, farming stops. Thousands of farmers arrive at the pyramid site, seeking work during the idle season. The workforce swells from 4,000 to 20,000. The pace of construction accelerates dramatically. You learn the social structure. It is complex, hierarchical, but not rigid. At the top, Hemionu, the architect. Below him, senior engineers and scribes. Below them, master masons and foremen like Seneb. Below them, skilled workers like Keti. Below them, you. But there is mobility. Prove yourself, and you can rise. A hauler can become a mason. A mason can become a foreman. Merit is not the sole determinant of success. Skill matters. Dedication matters. The pyramid rewards competence. You also learn the economics. The pyramid is expensive, enormously expensive, but it is not bankrupting Egypt. Egypt is wealthy. The Nile floods every year, depositing rich silt. Agriculture thrives. Surplus exists. The pyramid is a jobs program, a religious expression, a demonstration of power, and an investment in the afterlife. It is all of these things. You learn the astronomy. On night shifts, you watch the astronomers work. They use the stars to align the pyramid. Specifically, they use the circumpolar stars, the ones that never set, that rotate around the celestial North Pole. The Egyptians call them the imperishable ones. They dig a circular trench, fill it with water, and observe which stars reflect in the still surface as they circle the pole. By bisecting the angle between the rising and setting positions of a particular star, they determine true north. The pyramid's sides are aligned to the cardinal directions with an error of less than 0.05 degrees. This is astonishing precision for a civilization without compasses or satellites. You realize, this pyramid is not just a tomb. It is a mathematical statement. An astronomical instrument. A cosmic map. The pharaoh will not simply be buried here, he will ascend. The pyramid is the stairway. The capstone is the launch pad. The stars are the destination. This knowledge changes how you feel about the work. You are not just moving stone. You are building a vehicle for transcendence. This belief sustains you through the pain. 6 months pass. You are now considered a skilled hauler. You train new workers. You lead songs. Seneb trusts you with more responsibility. Your pay increases slightly. You receive an extra loaf of bread per day. Merit is pregnant. You will have a son. You hope he will work on the pyramid too. This is your legacy. The pyramid is now 70 meters tall, halfway to its final height. But more than halfway complete in terms of mass. The pyramid is wider at the bottom, narrower at the top. Geometric progression means the hardest work is behind you. This is encouraging. You also witness accidents. More men fall. More legs are broken. More fingers are crushed. One man dies when a rope snaps and the recoil strikes his skull. His body is carried away. His family is compensated. He is buried with honor. A scribe records his name in the official records. Died in service to the pyramid, the eternal house of Khufu. You think about your own mortality. You are not afraid. If you die here, you die in holy work. Your car, your life force, will be preserved. Your name will be remembered, at least by your family, perhaps by the scribes. This is a form of immortality. 1 year passes. You are now 24 years old. You are a veteran. You know the quarry, the ramps, the placement procedures. You know 300 workers by name. You know which foremen are fair and which are harsh. You know which physicians are skilled and which are incompetent. You know the best places to rest, the best times to drink, the best songs to sing. You have moved approximately 800 stones. Each stone is part of the pyramid. Each stone is part of eternity. You are proud. Genuinely, deeply proud. Your son is born. His name is Khafre, named after the Pharaoh's son who will someday build his own pyramid beside his father's. You hold your son and think, maybe he will complete what I started. Maybe he will see the pyramid finished. Maybe he will work on the next pyramid or the next. The work is endless. The work is eternal. This is the rhythm of your life. 2 years pass. You are now 25 years old. Your assignment changes. Senab calls you one morning. You are being moved to interior work, he says. This is unexpected. Interior work is specialized, reserved for trusted workers. You feel honored. You also feel nervous. You have never been inside the pyramid. You were introduced to a new foreman. His name is Meroruka. He is 50 years old, thin, precise, with the hands of a sculptor. You will help build the grand gallery, he tells you. This is delicate work. Precision is essential. Do you understand? You nod. He leads you up the ramp to the entrance on the north face. The entrance is small, unimpressive, located 17 meters above the base. It does not look like the doorway to eternity. This is deliberate. After the pharaoh is buried, this entrance will be sealed, hidden. Tomb robbers are a constant threat. Discretion is part of the design. You enter. The passage is narrow, low. You must crouch. It is also steep, descending at a 26-degree angle. The air is cool, still, heavy. Your torch flickers. The limestone walls are smooth, precisely cut. You run your hand along the stone. The joints are tight. The craftsmanship is extraordinary. You descend for 30 meters. Then the passage levels out. Then it begins to ascend. You are now inside the body of the pyramid, moving upward toward the king's chamber. The passage opens into a larger space. This is the grand gallery. It is 46 meters long and 8 meters high. The ceiling is corbelled. Each layer of stone projects slightly inward, creating a self-supporting arch. The effect is breathtaking. You have never seen anything like this. This, Meroruka says, is why you were chosen. We need intelligent workers here. Workers who understand structure. Workers who will not panic if something shifts. You begin to understand the risks. You are inside a pyramid that is still being built. Millions of tons of stone rest above you. If something fails, you will not escape. This is not hauling stone on open ramps. This is entombment with the possibility of not being dead first. But the pay is better. And the work is fascinating. You are taught how to place the corbelled stones. Each stone must be positioned with millimeter precision. Too far in, and the ceiling will collapse. Too far out, and the gallery will be unbalanced. Meroruka uses plumb lines, levels, and wooden templates. Nothing is left to chance. You also learn about the king's chamber, the space you are building toward. It will house the pharaoh's sarcophagus. The chamber will be lined with red granite from Aswan, 800 kilometers to the south. Each granite block weighs 80 tons. 80 tons. You ask Meroruka, how will you lift 80-ton blocks? He smiles. Watch. He shows you a secret. An internal ramp system, hidden within the pyramid's structure. The ramps spiral upward through passages that will later be filled with rubble and sealed. This is how the massive granite blocks will be raised. Not with external ramps alone, but with internal infrastructure. Temporary scaffolding built into the very body of the pyramid. This is a secret only interior workers know. This will be debated by scholars for millennia. You are seeing the answer. You work in the Grand Gallery for months. The stone dust is suffocating. You tie linen cloth over your nose and mouth. It helps, but not enough. You develop a cough. Many interior workers have this cough. Some die from it years later, their lungs scarred and useless. This is an occupational hazard. No one complains. The work must be done. You also see the Queen's chamber, though you do not enter it. It is lower in the pyramid, smaller, simpler. It is not actually for the Queen. Scholars of the future will misname it. It is likely a symbolic womb, a place of rebirth for the pharaoh's car. Or perhaps a backup burial chamber if the pharaoh dies before the king's chamber is complete. The exact purpose is uncertain, even to you. What you do know, every detail is intentional. Every chamber, every passage, every angle serves a purpose. Religious, astronomical, architectural. The pyramid is a three-dimensional riddle. You are building it, but you do not fully understand it. Perhaps no one does, except Hemiunu and the high priests. One day, you are working near the ascending passage when you hear something. A vibration. A deep, low hum. You freeze. The stone around you is settling, compressing under the weight above. This is normal. This is terrifying. Meroruka sees your fear. The pyramid is alive, he says calmly. It shifts. It breathes. It will continue shifting for years after completion. This is expected. The design accounts for it. You look at the massive limestone blocks surrounding you. Each weighs tons. If they shift the wrong way, you will be crushed instantly. But Meroruka is unconcerned. He has worked inside pyramids for 30 years. He is still alive. This is reassuring. You continue working. 3 years pass. You are now 28 years old. The Grand Gallery is complete. The King's Chamber is complete. The granite sarcophagus is in place. It was installed during construction because it is too large to fit through the passages. This is another secret. The sarcophagus was built into the room, carved in place or positioned before the walls were finished. You stand in the king's chamber. It is silent, empty, waiting. The red granite walls are polished smooth. The ceiling is composed of 9 granite beams, each weighing 50 tons. Above the ceiling are 5 relieving chambers, designed to distribute the weight of the pyramid above. This is engineering genius. This is beauty. You think, the pharaoh will lie here. His mummy will rest in that sarcophagus. His bar will travel through the passages, emerge from the pyramid, and ascend to the stars. You will never see this. The pyramid will be sealed. But you know it will happen. You believe it will happen. This belief is everything. 5 years pass. You are now 30 years old. The pyramid is nearly complete. It stands 130 meters tall, approaching its final height of 146 meters. The internal chambers are finished. The passages are complete. Now comes the final, most visible phase, The casing. The casing stones are made of Tura limestone, quarried from across the Nile. Tura limestone is finer, whiter, denser than the local macadam limestone used for the core blocks. When polished, Tura limestone gleams like marble. The pyramid will shine. You are reassigned again. You are now a casing team worker. This is prestigious. Casing work is visible. When visitors come to marvel at the pyramid, they will see your work. This matters to you. The casing stones are massive, but they are not uniform rectangular blocks. Each stone is precisely cut to fit the pyramid's angle. The faces of the Great Pyramid slope at 51 degrees, 50 minutes, and 40 seconds. This angle is not arbitrary. It corresponds to the Nakht, an Egyptian measurement of slope. 7 palms horizontal for every 5 palms vertical. Simple ratio. Complex execution. You learn a new skill. Fine masonry. The casing stones must fit together with joints no thicker than a sheet of papyrus. This requires precision beyond anything you have done before. The stones are shaped using copper saws, copper chisels, and abrasive sand. The final smoothing is done with grinding stones. Hours of work per stone. You also learn the mortar recipe. This is a closely guarded secret. The master masons mix gypsum, sand, water, and something else. You are not told what. You suspect it involves a plant resin or animal glue. The mortar dries harder than the limestone itself. In 4,000 years, the mortar will still hold, even as the casing stones are stolen for use in medieval Cairo. The mortar is better than the stone. This is mastery. The casing stones are hoisted up the external ramps, which are now being dismantled from the top down as the casing is applied. It is a coordinated operation. Ramps removed. Casing applied. Layer by layer, descending. You work on the southern face. The sun is relentless. There is no shade at this height. You drink constantly. You sweat constantly. Your skin is dark, weathered, aged beyond your years. But you persist. Each casing stone is positioned, levered into place, and mortared. Then it is polished. You use grinding stones and water, rubbing for hours until the surface is smooth, reflective. Your arms ache. Your shoulders burn. But the result is beautiful. Undeniably beautiful. When the sun strikes the polished casing stones, the pyramid glows. It is visible for kilometers. It is a beacon, a statement, a challenge to the desert, to time, to entropy itself. We are here. We built this. We are eternal. You stand at the base one evening, looking up at the southern face. The casing is nearly complete on this side. The surface is smooth, white, flawless. You can see your reflection in the polished stone. You think, I did this. My hands shaped this. My sweat is in this mortar. I am part of this. This thought sustains you. 6 years pass. You are now 33 years old. Your son, Capstone, is now 6. He comes to the pyramid site sometimes. You show him the stones. You tell him stories. You explain the techniques. He listens, wide-eyed. He asks questions. Why is the pyramid so smooth? How did you make it shine? Will it last forever? You answer, we polished it. We cared. And yes, it will last forever. You believe this. 7 years pass. You are now 34 years old. The pyramid is nearly complete. Only the top remains. The final courses of stone. And then, the capstone. The capstone is called the pyramidion. It is made of granite, possibly covered in gold or electrum, an alloy of gold and silver. It is sacred. It is symbolic. It represents the Benben, the primordial mound that emerged from the waters of chaos at the creation of the world. Placing the capstone is a religious act, not merely a construction task. You are not chosen for this honor. Only the high priests and the most senior masons will place the pyramidion. You are disappointed, but you understand. You are a worker, not a priest. You have done your part. On the day of the placement, you stand at the base with thousands of other workers. You watch as the pyramidion is hauled up the final ramp. It is smaller than you expected, perhaps 1 meter tall, but it is heavy. It glows in the sunlight, brilliant gold against the white limestone. The priests chant. Incense burns. The pharaoh himself is present, watching from a pavilion. You cannot see him clearly. He is too far away, surrounded by guards and attendants. But you know he is there. You feel his presence. The pyramidion is positioned. The final stone. The completion. The fulfillment of 20 years of labor by tens of thousands of workers. A cheer erupts. Spontaneous, thunderous. You cheer. Everyone cheers. You have witnessed the completion of eternity. Later, there will be a festival. Beer will be distributed in abundance. Meat will be roasted. Music will be played. You will celebrate with your fellow workers. You will drink until you are dizzy. You will sing until your voice is hoarse. You will sleep under the stars, content. But for now, you stand and stare at the completed pyramid. It is 146 meters tall. It is perfectly aligned to the cardinal directions. Its sides are smooth, polished, gleaming. It is the tallest structure in the world. It will remain the tallest structure in the world for nearly 4,000 years. You think, I built this. Not alone, of course. But I was here. I moved stone. I shaped eternity. My name will not be on any inscription, but I was here. That is enough. This is the peak of your life. 8 years pass. You are now 42 years old. The pyramid is complete, but your work is not finished. The pyramid complex includes temples, causeways, smaller pyramids for the queens, and mastaba tombs for nobles. Construction continues. You continue. But your body is breaking down. Your back, which was strong at 23, now aches constantly. Your hands, which were once flexible, are now stiff with arthritis. You can no longer haul stone. You can no longer cut with precision. Seneb, who is now 60 and partially retired himself, finds you a new assignment. You will work in the Panefa, he says. The house of beauty. You understand. This is the embalming house. This is where the dead are prepared for eternity. This is where the pharaoh will eventually be mummified. You are nervous. You have never worked with the dead. But you are also honored. This is sacred work, as important as building the pyramid itself. You are introduced to the head embalmer. His name is Yufar. He is 65 years old, skeletal thin, with the calm demeanor of someone who has spent his entire life around death. You will assist with preparations, he tells you. You will clean the chamber. You will maintain the tools. You will observe the process. Do you understand? You nod. The Panefa is located near the pyramid complex, but it is discreet, partially underground, designed for privacy and temperature control. You enter through a narrow doorway. The interior is cool, dim, fragrant with myrrh and frankincense. There are stone tables, drainage channels, shelves lined with jars and tools. There is also a body on one of the tables. You freeze. It is the first corpse you have seen up close. It is a priest, not the pharaoh. A practice body, Yufar explains. The embalmers must stay skilled. They practice on lesser nobles and priests who have donated their bodies for this purpose. Come, Yufar says. Watch. You approach reluctantly. The body is that of a man, perhaps 50 years old. He has been dead for 2 days. The skin is pale, waxy. The smell is masked by the incense, but it is still there, underlying everything. Yufar begins the process. First, purification. The body is washed with water from the Nile, then with natron dissolved in water. Natron is a natural salt, a mixture of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate, harvested from dry lake beds. It is the key to mummification. This is a secret the embalmers know, salt preserves. Next, the brain removal. Yufar inserts a long bronze hook into the left nostril. He twists, breaks through the ethmoid bone into the cranial cavity. He hooks the brain tissue and pulls. It comes out in pieces, gray and soft. You feel nauseous, but you do not look away. The brain is not important, Yufar explains. The Egyptians believe thought and emotion reside in the heart. The brain is simply cooling tissue. We discard it. This is strange to you, but you do not question it. The embalmers know their work. Next, the organ removal. Yufar makes an incision in the left side of the abdomen using a flint blade. Flint, not bronze. Flint is sharper, cleaner. This is another secret. He reaches inside the body cavity and removes the internal organs. First, the lungs. Then, the liver. Then, the stomach. Then, the intestines. Each organ is washed, treated with palm wine and spices, and placed in a canopic jar. There are 4 jars, each with a different lid representing one of the 4 sons of Horus. Imseti, liver. Hapi, lungs. Duamitef, stomach. Quebazanerf, intestines. The heart is left inside the body. The heart will be weighed in the afterlife, Yufar explains, against the feather of Ma'at. If the heart is heavy with sin, it will be devoured by Ammit. If the heart is light, the deceased will enter the field of reeds and live forever. The heart must remain. You absorb this. The theology is complex, but the message is clear. Morality matters. Behavior matters. The afterlife is not guaranteed, it is earned. The body cavity is now empty except for the heart. Yufar packs it with natron, linen, and sawdust. The body is then covered entirely in dry natron and left to desiccate for 40 days. You will return in 40 days, Yufar tells you. You will see the transformation. 40 days pass. You return to the Pernefa. The body has changed dramatically. The skin is dark, leathery, shrunken tightly over the bones. The natron has absorbed all moisture. The body is now a mummy, preserved, inert. Yufar is satisfied. The natron has done its work, he says. Now we restore the appearance. The body is removed from the natron. It is washed again, gently, with water and palm wine. Then, the restoration begins. Linen is stuffed into the body cavity to restore shape. The chest is filled. The abdomen is filled. Sawdust and sand are used for bulk. The goal is to make the mummy look as it did in life, or better. The face is treated with particular care. The eyes, which have sunken, are replaced with linen pads or small onions. The cheeks are padded. The nostrils are plugged with beeswax. Resin is applied to the skin to darken it further and add a protective coating. Then, the wrapping begins. This is the most labor-intensive part. The mummy is wrapped in linen, layer upon layer. Hundreds of meters of linen. Each finger and toe is wrapped individually. Then the hands. Then the arms. Then the legs. Then the torso. Each layer is coated with resin. Between certain layers, amulets are placed. Small charms made of faience, gold, or stone. Each amulet has a purpose: protection, strength, guidance. The heart scarab is placed over the heart, inscribed with spells from the Book of the Dead to ensure the heart does not testify against the deceased during judgment. You assist with the wrapping. Your hands, scarred from years of stonework, are now covered in resin. The work is slow, meditative, almost hypnotic. You rap and chant. Yufar recites prayers, and you repeat them. The prayers are old, older than the pyramids, older than the dynasties. They are protective spells, guiding the deceased through the dangers of the afterlife. The wrapping takes 15 days. When it is complete, the mummy is unrecognizable as the body you saw 40 days ago. It is now a sacred object, a vessel for the car, ready for the tomb. Ufa places a funerary mask over the face. For nobles and priests, this mask is made of cartonnage, linen and plaster, painted with features. For the pharaoh, it will be gold. Pure gold. You will never see the pharaoh's mask, but you imagine it. Brilliant, eternal, divine. The mummy is placed in a wooden coffin. The coffin is painted with protective symbols: the Eye of Horus, the jade pillar, the Ankh. The coffin is then placed in a stone sarcophagus. This priest is ready for burial, Ufa announces. You have witnessed the transformation from death to eternity. This process will be repeated for Pharaoh Khufu when he dies. You may assist. You may not. But you now understand the purpose of the pyramid. It is not just a tomb. It is a machine for resurrection. A vehicle for transcendence. The mummy is the seed. The pyramid is the shell. The stars are the destination. 10 years pass. You are now 52 years old. Pharaoh Khufu has died. The news spreads quickly. The royal court goes into mourning. The embalmers begin their work. You are not chosen to assist with the pharaoh's mummification. That honor goes to the most senior embalmers, the high priests. But you are chosen for another task, preparing the king's chamber for the burial. You return to the interior of the pyramid, a place you have not been in over a decade. The passages are the same, but you are different. You are older, slower, your body worn from years of labor. But you are honored. This is the culmination. You descend the entrance passage, then ascend the grand gallery. The space is just as you remember it, soaring, precise, awe-inspiring. Your torch casts flickering shadows on the corbelled ceiling. You think, I helped build this. You enter the king's chamber. The red granite walls gleam in the torchlight. The sarcophagus sits in the center, empty, waiting. Your task is to prepare the chamber for the burial. You arrange the canopic jars on their designated shelf. You place funerary furniture, a bed, a chair, a headrest. You stack provisions, jars of grain, wine, oils, honey. You place tools, copper chisels, bronze knives, wooden mallets. Everything the pharaoh might need in the afterlife. You also place shattas. These are small figurines, servants for the afterlife. There are hundreds of them. Each is inscribed with a spell. If the deceased is called to perform labor in the afterlife, the shatti will say, I will do it, here I am. Even in death, the pharaoh will not labor. The shattas will labor for him. This strikes you as both logical and absurd. You have labored your entire life. Will you have shattas in your afterlife? Probably not. But you do not resent this. The pharaoh is a god. You are a man. The order is natural. The walls of the king's chamber are undecorated. No paintings, no hieroglyphs. This surprises you. Later pyramids will have walls covered in pyramid texts, spells to guide the deceased. But Khufu's chamber is bare. Perhaps the spells are unnecessary for a god. Perhaps the pyramid itself is the spell. 3 days later, the funeral procession arrives. You are not allowed to attend the burial ceremony. That is reserved for priests, nobles, and the royal family. But you watch from a distance as the procession approaches the pyramid. Priests in white linen, mourners wailing, musicians playing flutes and drums, and at the center, the golden coffin containing the mummy of Pharaoh Khufu. The coffin is carried into the pyramid. You imagine the journey, down the entrance, up the grand gallery, into the king's chamber. The mummy is placed in the granite sarcophagus. The lid is sealed. The opening of the mouth ceremony is performed, a ritual to restore the mummy's senses so it can eat, drink, and speak in the afterlife. Then, the ceiling. Massive granite blocks are slid into place, blocking the passages. Wooden beams are removed, allowing portcullis slabs to drop. The entrances are filled with rubble, then covered with casing stones. The pyramid is sealed. The pharaoh is entombed. You know this. You helped design the sealing mechanisms years ago. They are ingenious, virtually impenetrable. Or so you believe. History will prove otherwise. Tomb robbers will eventually breach the pyramid, steal the treasures, desecrate the mummy. But you do not know this. You believe the pharaoh is safe. You believe he will ascend to the stars and live forever. You stand at the base of the pyramid as the sun sets. The white casing stones glow orange, then pink, then purple. The pyramid is complete. The pharaoh is buried. Your work is done. You feel empty, satisfied, but empty. You have spent 27 years on this project. It defined your life. It gave you purpose. Now it is finished. What will you do? 2 years pass. You are now 54 years old. You are officially retired. Your body can no longer perform labor. Your back is permanently bent. Your hands are twisted with arthritis. Your lungs are scarred from years of stone dust. But you are alive. Many workers did not survive to retirement. You are fortunate. You receive a pension. A modest one, 5 loaves of bread per day, 1 jug of beer, occasional rations of fish and vegetables. You live in the workers' village. You will live here until you die. Your son, Quarry, is now 22. He works on Pharaoh Quarry's pyramid, the second pyramid at Giza, now under construction. He is a mason, more skilled than you ever were. You are proud. You spend your days sitting in the shade, watching the new pyramid rise. You tell stories to younger workers. You explain techniques. You share secrets, the wet sand trick, the internal ramps, the mortar recipe. You are a living repository of knowledge. One day, a young worker asks you, was it worth it? You consider the question. 27 years of labor. A broken body. A modest pension. For what? For a tomb for a god king who is now dead, sealed inside a mountain of stone. You look at the Great Pyramid. It dominates the horizon, visible from everywhere in the village. It is permanent. It is eternal. It will stand for thousands of years. Your name is not on it. But your hands shaped it. Your sweat is in the mortar. You are part of it. Yes, you say. It was worth it. The young worker nods, unconvinced. He will understand when he is older. Or perhaps he will not. It does not matter. The pyramid stands. That is enough. 3 years pass. You are now 57 years old. You are dying. You know this. Your breathing is labored. Your body is shutting down. The physician, Santik, who has treated you for decades, visits you at home. It is time, he says gently. You nod. You are ready. Your family is with you. Merit, now an old woman herself. Quarry, your son, your grandchildren. They sit beside you. They hold your hands. They cry quietly. You think about your life. You were born a farmer's son. You became a pyramid builder. You moved stone. You built eternity. You raised a son. You survived. This is a good life. Not a great life, not a remarkable life, but a good life. You think about the afterlife. You believe, as all Egyptians believe, that your car will survive. Your body will be mummified, though not as elaborately as the pharaohs. You will be buried in a simple tomb near the pyramid. Your name will be inscribed on a stela, Nakht, hauler of stones, builder of eternity. You think about judgment. Your heart will be weighed against the feather of Ma'at. You have not been perfect. You have lied. You have been angry. You have envied others. But you have also been honest. You have worked hard. You have loved your family. You believe your heart will be light enough. You hope to enter the field of reeds, a perfect version of Egypt where the Nile always floods, the crops always grow, and the work is easy. You will see your friends who died during construction. You will drink beer and eat bread and rest in the shade. Forever. You close your eyes. Your breathing slows. You feel yourself drifting. 3 days later, your body is mummified. The process is simpler than the pharaohs, but it is respectful. Your organs are removed. Your body is desiccated with natron. You are wrapped in linen. Amulets are placed. Prayers are spoken. You are buried in a small mastaba tomb, 50 meters from the Great Pyramid. Your sarcophagus is placed in a shaft, 12 meters deep. Your canopic jars are arranged beside you. Provisions are left. Bread, beer, dried fish, oil. Shattas are included. Humble clay figures, not hundreds, just 7. Enough. Your son, Khafre, attends the burial. He weeps. He says, "You built the pyramid. You will live forever." He believes this. You are not the pharaoh. You are not a noble. You are not a priest. You are Nakht, a hauler of stones. But you are part of the pyramid. Your name is recorded. Your body is preserved. Your car will endure. 4,500 years later, archaeologists will excavate the workers' cemetery near the Great Pyramid. They will find hundreds of tombs. They will find your tomb. They will read your name, Nakht. They will study your bones. They will see the damage to your spine, the arthritis in your hands, the scarring in your lungs. They will conclude, you were a laborer, a builder, essential to the pyramid's construction. They will say, the pyramids were not built by slaves. They were built by workers like Nakht. Paid, fed, honored. Your story will be told. In this way, you will achieve immortality.
You have just experienced the life of Nakht, a pyramid builder at Giza, 2540 BCE. You woke before dawn. You cut stone. You hauled blocks. You learned secrets, the wet sand, the internal ramps, the mortar recipe, the mummification process. You worked inside the pyramid. You witnessed the burial. You retired. You died. You were honored. This was the reality of building the pyramids. Not grand. Not glamorous. Hard. Painful. Holy. The pyramids stand today because of workers like Nakht. Ordinary people who did extraordinary work. Their names are mostly forgotten. But their labor is eternal. The secrets of the pyramids are not magical. They are human. They are ingenuity, organization, belief, and sweat. You have learned them. Sleep well,